This is Whitney McClain, and you are listening to the David Jonathan Perception.
Whitney McClain.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, good. Well, welcome. Welcome to the David Jonathan Perception.
Thank you for having me.
I am like super excited that you're able to be a part of this today. How's your day going?
It's good. Just, here quarantining around.
I mean, how's your stress level been with having to deal with this quarantine? How do you feel about it? What's your personal opinion?
Well, at first, I was kind of stressed out because, everybody's panicking. You don't know what information is right. I still don't know what information is right about this stuff. But as it's gone on, I've just kind of adjusted and come up with a new routine, and I don't know, just pray that I'm safe.
Well, I also too pray that you're safe. How's your family? How's your mom?
My mom is good. She's learning how to work from home as well, so that's been a process for her, but she's gotten used to it, I think. My dad is good. He's normally just doodling around the house, so things haven't changed much for him. But yeah,
And if I'm not mistaken, you're engaged, correct?
I am engaged.
Girl,
Yes,
I'm a part of
finally.
I'm a part of the family too.
Are you engaged?
Yes, I am.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's cool. I know that happy feeling. I know what that voice sounds like.
Oh my gosh, I swear, like the whole day that it happened, I was like in bliss. It was like so cool and weird.
So how did it happen? Do you mind sharing?
Oh, I'd love to share. So, it was Valentine's Day, and my now fiance and I went. We went to Disneyland, and we went to our favorite breakfast place there, and they do like character breakfast buffet,
Oh.
and my cousin and her boyfriend like met us there by surprise, quotation marks. Um, and we're just eating breakfast, and then I get this present. I get a book. My fiance gave me a book, and it like basically, I don't know. Have you seen those love books online,
Yes,
like
yes, I
on
have.
Facebook? Okay, so he made me one of those. And at the end of the book, it said, "Will you marry me?" And he got down on one knee, and all the characters came around, and I said yes, and yeah, that's how it went.
What's his first name?
Davy
Davy?
or David, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do a definite shout out to Davy on the air because he stepped up, and it's good when men are able to step up and put that ring on the finger. You feel me?
Yes, yes. I'm very proud of him.
That is awesome. I am so happy. I hear the happiness in your voice, and that's how you know that it's supposed to be. After you get settled into being engaged, and it's like, oh wow, I could call that person my fiance now. Like that's
Hmm.
I'm still getting through that. That's so cool though. I could actually say that now.
Yeah, yeah. I've slipped up a couple times, and he's slipped up a couple times, saying boyfriend, girlfriend, because it's just like it's so new, and it's just so like I don't know. It's crazy. Like I honestly had no idea it was gonna happen. I had we've been together. Let's see, like a little over 4 years. So
Oh
I was
wow.
like,
If it
I don't
happens, it
know.
does, and if not, it's like whatever.
Right? Yeah, yeah. So I kind of just gave up because I mean I was pressuring him a little bit because I want him to make an honest woman out of me. So Yeah, but yeah, so I was pleasantly surprised that it happened.
That is so dope. I with my situation, not that you want to hear my story, but
Oh, I
uh,
definitely do.
like so me and this is funny because this is all the viewers or listeners, that will be listening to this. They don't know. I don't share too much of my personal business because, as you know, as being a musician, you know, people want to be all up in your grill, and
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
they want to invade your privacy, and I don't like everybody up in my grill. But you're like family to me now, so might as well go ahead and break this friendship in. So,
Yes.
me and my fiance met. I want to say 2000 and she says 10, but I say around like '09. But I guess who's really counting between 365-day difference? But because usually that counting thing is important to women even more than men. I feel like y'all know the date, the time, how the air was, how it tasted outside, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys are just like, oh yeah, I think it was like May, yeah, I think. And y'all be looking at us with a crazy face, like go sleep on the couch. So,
Right, like you don't remember.
so yeah, exactly. So the funny thing, I took a pause because she just came in the door, and so now she's hearing me talk about her, and probably wondering why I turned off the heat, but I had to do that so it wouldn't bleed into my recording. Yep, there you go. Now you know my secret. So we met through a mutual acquaintance. Um, and that that person was not a friend to me. I just knew them. We knew each other. We went to the same grade school back in the day, so we throwing it back. And
Mhm.
actually, the irony of it is, me and her had the same female best friend. That lived 3 houses down the street from me.
Oh.
So we've always kind of been around each other, but didn't even realize we were around each other.
Wow.
So, even the house that she grew up in for the majority of her childhood was on the same street, across the street from my uncle, my sister's brother.
That's wild.
Isn't it crazy? So
Yeah.
this whole time, you know, we've been like 1 degree of separation our whole lives. So some years would go on. We both would end up in not good relationships. And I was living out of town. I lived in Florida for a while. Then I moved back from Florida. We got up and reacquainted. And the rest is history. She's been the strongest down for me, like my best friend as well. I could tell her anything, as well as my soon to be wife. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
oh, well, thank you. That's the condensed version. When next time we talk, I'll fill you in on all the details.
Oh, okay.
But I want to talk about you. I'm going to read a little bit of your bio here. It says Whitney McClain is destined for success as a singer-songwriter. Her debut album surpassed 1 million views on YouTube, which is ridiculous. Congratulations. And following the success of her first song, Bombs Away, she released her debut EP, Nothing to Lose, which featured 3 singles, each also bringing over 3 million views, and a nomination for the Independent Music Awards for Urban EP of the Year. Whoa. Whoa, how does that make you feel?
It was pretty cool. I mean, I didn't really know what the awards were. So it was like pretty new to me, but it was fun. I got to go to New York. It was really awesome, and like for being a new artist, it was just crazy. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that is so
So
cool. You're singing. Your voice is very it's very unique to me. It has like kind of a soft tone to it. But it's got soul. It's got a little bit of everything. I think that you're an awesome artist.
thank you.
That's why I keep calling you and bugging you about drops and stuff because I'm fascinated with what God put in your throat.
Well, praise the Lord. That's all I gotta say about that.
That's awesome. Now you have a story behind your success and your. I mean, I know the successes must be awesome, and like you say, you're kind of settling into this. So I'm nominated, and now I'm almost like being put on the front lines as like a role model to even some young girls, I'm sure, who would aspire to be a singer. And I think your story is very unique. Would you mind sharing that with us?
Basically, big part of my story and growing up and everything, I had a brain tumor. I was about I was in fifth grade, and one night I went critical, and I got rushed to the hospital, and they discovered I had a brain tumor about the size of a grapefruit. And basically, they told my parents, like, she's probably not going to make it. So my mom wasn't having that.
Of course, yeah.
So
If I
I
met
guess,
her, she wasn't having it.
yeah, she was not having it. So they rushed me to um, Dornbecker Children's Hospital in Portland, and they are one of the most amazing hospitals like ever. Um, and they were able to operate on me, and I just know I went in there on a Monday and I came out on a Friday
Wow.
after having brain surgery. It was like such a miracle, and yeah, so I had to do like a lot of like different kinds of therapies afterwards, and um, like I wasn't in school for the rest of that year. And then about 2 years later, um, I found out that there was more tumor growing on the spot
Mm.
where they took out the first one. And so this surgery was going to be a little more tricky because it was growing on like a vein or something. And if they hit it, I could die or be disabled. And so it was like a bigger risk. And I actually knew what was going on at that point. And they operated, and it was successful. Praise the Lord. And I I really had to work like in school and try to like learn. It was a lot harder to learn, but I persevered, and like I made good grades, and music was something that I always stuck to. I remember after my first surgery, I just wanted to watch American Idol, and um, that was like a huge thing for me back then. And yeah, so I've been through a lot, and then fast forward to college, kind of where my music career actually started. I got a concussion like 2 weeks in to being at school,
Wow.
and it completely threw me for a loop. Like I said, I like really built up to get like good grades, succeed in school, and it was like my brain just shut off in that aspect. So I went and got a scan, and they're like, you knocked out 70% of your brain pathways.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. So that took me for like a turn, and I started kind of going downhill. Like in school, I was off. It was like the number one party school. I was partying, crazy, doing crazy stuff, which I definitely shouldn't have been doing after having a head injury.
Right.
Um, but you know, it brought me to where I am today. So, but probably my second semester of college, I ended up going on a medical leave and trying to do therapy. And finally, I was like, my parents were paying for my school. I was like, I don't want you guys to pay for my school. Like this, I'm not passing. Like
Right.
things are not going well. And I was like, I felt this, just this overwhelming sensation that I needed to do music. So, I reached out to my uncle Marlon McClain, who's my manager now,
And how old
and
were
I was
you?
like,
How old were you at this time? If you don't mind me asking.
I want to say, okay, so I went into college. I was 18, first year. I was probably about like 19 or 20, or 20 or 21. I don't know.
Wow.
Somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around there. I also found Jesus in this time, so I became a Christian.
Wow.
My life just totally changed. So I reached out to Marlon, and he hooked me up with a vocal producer, Mally B, who ended up working on my first project with me. And he's like, "You got to hear how you sound. Like, we got to get you in the studio." So I was like, "Wow, okay, let's go." So I traveled out to LA and we ended up recording, let's see, a few songs: "Bombs Away," "Terminal Love,"
Wow.
"Sober." We ended up recording those out there, and I got "Bombs Away" back, and I started showing my friends and stuff. I was like, "What do you guys think?" And then everybody was just like loving it. So I talked to Marlon, and I was like, "Can we actually do something with this? Like, let's do something." So then he decided to be my manager, and things just kind of went from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Just your whole story. You and I met at the Tom Joyner morning show's retirement party
Yeah.
in Buffalo, and up until a certain point, I had no clue I was even going to actually be there. And when I met you and your mom, and you guys started telling me about your story, I just thought that was phenomenal. And then I heard you sing on live radio, and I don't know if that was you singing or if that was a track, but either way, it sounded phenomenal.
Thank you. I think it was a track.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say I couldn't remember if it was a track, but I mean, I guess I must have ignored the track because I was just, when I heard the voice, I just singled everything else out. Like, okay, nope, that's not what I want to listen to. I'm listening to her voice, and I was so impressed. And then we got to perform. I think that was that next day, and I heard you at the showcase, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. This girl is destined to be great. That's what it is. You're gonna be
Wow.
like like I could tell the entertainer aspect of you was there, and Buffalo's a tough crowd. Let me tell you, like people are used
Oh
to,
man.
they're used to like we've become a cover band town, but you know Buffalo used to be like when Michael Jackson came here back in the early, I think that was in the 90s. He was here early 90s. Like he basically, people were booing, and it's like they're booing Michael Jackson. Like
No way.
I am so not kidding.
What?
And what's funny is I don't know if that was before or after the Buffalo Bills that went to the Super Bowl, where Michael Jackson was actually headlining as the musical entertainment for halftime. So the irony in that is just so
Crazy.
hilarious. So when you opened your mouth and sing, it's like everybody just shut up. And I could tell
Wow.
that was a good moment. That was a great moment for you. At least I felt.
Well, thanks. Thanks for for taking in that moment because I was nervous. I feel like I just black out kind of when I perform and just, like that night performing, oh man, but I'm just going to push through. I left my coat on, because it was cold, and I was just like, let me just come up here, stand up here, and do what I need to do.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool because you're I mean, if you had nerves, I didn't know you had nerves. You know, like it just appeared to be very natural, and you know, you went up there and you did it. You did your thing. Now, might I add, I don't know, were you weren't there for the outdoor performances I was doing next to Tom Joyner, were you?
No, I missed it.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because you guys were still at the hotel. I think you went out to eat and went to the hotel.
Yeah, I think so.
And let me tell you, it was some other local talent there that it was like a kind of a mixed bag. It was like good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you know, some of it was a little hard to sit through, and the other bit of it was like very cool atmosphere. But then once they did the indoor stuff and you got up there, like I said, I really enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was a fun day.
And did you guys went straight to back to LA after that? Is that correct?
Mhm. Yes, we did.
Yeah, that was such a cool time, and that's how you and I met. And you know, I think I started to tell you and your mom I was working on an album, and I was planning the way everything had been planned to go was that I should have been done by now. But after all of this craziness in the world that's happened, it's kind of slowed the process down. But
Right.
still should be coming. But when I went on to YouTube and checked out your videos, and even I feel like your acting ability in your videos is very good too. It's very believable.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because when you're singing, you have to kind of like, you know, especially when it's certain parts, you got to look at people a certain way, you know, or they want you to look at the camera a certain way. And I felt like you did that like a natural.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I remember when I did my first video, it was like, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was like, I don't know where to look. What am I doing? I feel like over the years and just like doing it, I feel like I've gotten a little bit better at pretending.
Oh yeah, trust me, there's a lot of that goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, you've now you're originally in Oregon, correct?
Mhm.
And
Yep,
now
I'm from Oregon.
you're living in LA?
Yeah, no, I'm living in LA. Yep.
Lord have mercy. I know you must see a lot of different personalities in LA.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, there's so many different ones. I've been to LA a couple times and have family there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big melting pot of of interesting people.
A big melting pot of just interestingness.
Yes. Yes.
Now, do you have members of a band in your group, or is it just right now you're working with a producer?
I do have a band, finally.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have a name for them yet, but they are great.
That's awesome. And I think your videography looks very, very awesome too. The quality of the video.
Oh, thank you.
I'm an attention to detail kind of person.
Well, that's I appreciate that because I like detail too. Like if things look janky, I'm like, yeah, let's fix it.
Yeah, I saw there was the one video you had with the you were in a boat.
Oh yeah.
How was that experience
Yeah.
shooting a music video in a boat?
Oh my gosh, well, it was fun for me. So actually, my fiance filmed that. He was on the edge of the boat filming me, trying not to fall off. That was pretty fun. We actually filmed that in Oregon, on Detroit Lake, and then the rest of the video was like at my house.
Wow. And then
And in Malibu.
oh, you did Malibu too. I thought I saw a car in there. Yeah.
Yeah. There was
Like a sports car.
Part. Yeah, the sports car. Yeah, that was in Oregon. That was actually my grandpa's old car. That was definitely scary because the steering wheel was like super loose and the brakes like hardly worked. And I was like driving and trying to sing, and my dad and Davey were like following me trying to film. It was crazy.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the challenges in being an artist, right? It's always something new.
Mhm. Yep.
Have you been working with any? You've been working with in-ear monitors yet, or are you kind of still doing things out of regular floor monitors?
I tried in-ears like once, and I was not feeling it. But now I feel like I'm more open to using them because instruments can be very loud. So
yeah.
Yeah. So when I get
save
back
your
out
ears.
there, I want to try to use them.
Yeah, instruments can get loud too, and I guess I mean we can always talk about this off the show, but I might have some information for you for some good in-ears.
Okay.
I might as well go ahead and make a sponsor plug. Today's show is sponsored by Me Audio for all of your in-ear needs. Me Audio. So yeah, Me Audio is they have some awesome in-ears, and they're inexpensive. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg, and you're still getting the drivers that you need, especially if for your highs, lows. And they have some custom technique stuff where you can actually go to an eardologist and they'll go ahead and put the goopy goop in your ear and customize it.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like that's what I need. Because my ears are like, I can't ever wear the headphones, the ear pods like for iPhones and stuff.
Right.
Everything like that falls out of my ears. And it's like, it just doesn't work out for me. So.
Yeah, you know why? Because those are like, they're so already molded that, they just make something that is like for the general, what they consider to be a small, medium, or large ear.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's not fitting the different contours of your ear or the ear canal. So it'd be better if you had something, that works for you, and then you can adjust all your levels. And sometimes I know some artists, they'll be on stage and they'll do something different and take out the one in-ear. I see Joe Scott do that a lot too, where they'll take out one because they still want to hear some natural sound.
Right. Yeah, that was like a big thing for me too. Is like I need to hear and like feel the instruments playing. And when I don't have that, it's like I'm just off. Like it feels like I'm off.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. And it's some people will wear in-ears and still have floor monitors in front of them or on the sides or whatever, because they want to still feel that band, So I totally know what you mean there too. But it's cool to know that you're finding your way.
Definitely. Yeah, what's funny is before all this coronavirus stuff happened, I was about to start performing. And I'm like, oh man, we finally got this together. And I have to wait, but it's okay.
I mean, that's cool though, because so many artists start out different. Like you're starting out with over, 1 million views on your YouTube. I mean, that's just phenomenal. Some people's stuff does catch, and a lot of people's stuff don't catch at all. And so for yours to catch a million views and then catch that again, a million and a million times a million, or a million plus a million after that, you know, I mean, who knows how many of those are just actual new people? But I mean, I see it in your subscriber list. I see it in your, the production. If you put out a product that is legit and it looks, because if it look like you said, if it looked tacky, it's gonna be tacky.
Right.
And I try to tell people that a lot when they, sometimes I sit down and I used to do a lot of like trying to do artist development, and I tell them, and well, this what it takes, man. You have to have a legit video. It'd be nice to have a website, some professional video, where you got like even sound from the board, and you're gonna have to put your time in. It's everybody's not gonna turn into a what's his name? Old Town Road. Little Nas X.
Oh yeah. Right.
Little Nas X had made that song about, I think he said about a whole 9 months before he even threw it up on SoundCloud. And then the next thing you know, somebody thought it was cool and it just took off from there.
That's just so crazy.
So I find that more overnight successes are becoming successful. And I say overnight because, sometimes you get in it with your expectations like, I don't know if this is going to work out, but I'll give it a shot. And then sometimes when you take that leap of faith, there it goes. Boom, million views.
Right. Exactly.
And it's supposed to happen for you. And so, people will hate on that because they'll think that they're supposed to be blessed more than you. But, what God has for you is for you.
Exactly. Amen.
Don't get me to preaching on here now because, I will. This show gets crazy.
You better preach.
I'm being real reserved today. Don't wake me up now because I get my preaching. Don't get me. I get my old Baptist man going. God said that you just begin to turn to the. See, I can't even do it. I'm about to cough. See, that's God. See, now they might think I got the Rona. See, this is how this is happening. I got set up. That's messed up. But no, I am Rona free. I am glad that you are Rona free. I'm glad Mom is Rona free. Let me see. I also wanted to know, was there anyone musical in your family?
Is there any what?
Anyone musical in your family?
Oh, absolutely, yes. So my Uncle Marlon McClain, he is a funk artist, guitarist. He was in the band Pleasure. And then his son, Marlon II, who now goes by Brando, is like becoming a big, I would think it's like EDM is what he does, EDM pop or something music. And he's really doing well. So look him up, Brando.
Brando, I definitely will. I might have to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Brando, I'm definitely going to have to talk to him. Because I'm looking to have everything on here,
Yeah, he wrote Nothing Left on my first EP, and then he collabed with me on Cruise, my single Cruise.
All right, Brando. Shout out to Brando.
Yeah, shout out Brando.
I'm going to shout out a boom horn for Brando. A boom horn is effect I got. It'll come on later. She's like, what? A boom horn? What's that?
I was like, is that like a?
Yeah, exactly. Is
that what
it is? Yep. I can't help it. I'm Caribbean. I'm sorry. We're obsessed with the boom horn. Like, horn is a very important part. Now, I have to ask you, who are your influences? Like, singers that you really looked up to. Do you have like a top 5 singers?
Top 5. Let's see. That's so hard because I feel like I've been
I
I've been
know.
around for a minute now.
Like, what's that artist?
Whole
What's the couple of
27
artists?
years.
What's the
What?
couple of artists that as soon as you hear them open their mouth, you're just like, would you just shut up? Just shut your mouth right now. You're amazing.
Okay. Amy Winehouse.
Oh, I'm
Um,
so happy. End the show. That's it. That's it. We're gonna end it right there. That's it. You said the right name. Keep going. Who else?
Amy Winehouse. Adele.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce. Let's see. Let me get some guys in there. You know who I really like?
Who?
I really like Leon Bridges. I think
Oh,
he
he's
is
amazing.
so cool. Yeah. Oh, and I love Miguel's voice too. I think he's really underrated.
Yeah, he's another one I feel is underrated as well.
Mhm. Is that more than 5? Because I could keep going.
That's okay. Keep going. I like where you're going with this list.
Erykah Badu
Uh-huh.
is dope. Lauren Daigle, she's a Christian artist who she kind of has like an Adele type sound. She's dope. Let's see, Marvin Gaye.
Come on now.
Who else?
So you're running dry now because that's you said the
I
people.
know I'm running dry.
That's okay. That's why you keep asking people the name because you want to see how far that foxhole goes. You know.
I'm like,
There's so many you can name, but you don't want to like force them. Like the ones that first come out are the ones that you really. Those are the people that I feel like everybody. They mean that when it comes out their mouth. You know.
yeah.
That's why I always tell
For
people top
sure.
5 because top 5 to me makes you go, oh, but I know about like 16. I get to the digging and thinking about it.
I just want to I just want to give everyone their credit, you know,
Right.
for being awesome.
Yeah, and singing is I feel like when you have a gift to sing, that brings healing to the world for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, that's like, honestly, music for me is so therapeutic, and I'm sure for everyone. Like I've always said, when I make music, I want it to be therapeutic to other people, like in healing in whatever way that they need to heal.
I feel like God is so broad, you know, no knock on the Christian faith or anything like that, but I feel like when God gives you a gift, you know, and in a lot of church that I grew up in, everybody immediately said, "Oh, you go to a church and you have to sing gospel."
No.
But you know, I thought to myself, I said, "But God is that will be putting God in a box, and God is not a boxy God."
Mhm.
So to me, you know, I'm sure God is flavor in all music. I feel like it all came from Him.
Absolutely.
So whether that's jazz, pop, hip hop, R&B, like these things all have told stories.
Mhm.
So you're one of the great storytellers that are coming up in the earth now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely something that comes from within, and like, it's not. I mean, obviously, developing your craft and like your gift is a part of it, but like the natural, instinctual part of music and having that gift, either to sing or to write, it's just in there. And yeah, it's amazing.
Now I have to ask you this. This is how you know this station or this David Jonathan perception is not scripted. It is on the fly. It is raw. As y'all know, stuff will mess up. We'll lose calls. It is what it is. I want to take away the veil of all the fancy schmancies that comes on with shows like this. So here's my personal thing to ask you because, like I said, this is like a conversation. Um, you you have. I'm assuming you have an interface at home, correct? Is that what you're using?
Um,
And if you
oh
don't want to tell
man,
me, that's okay.
An interface?
Yeah, like you have a what are you using to record? Uh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh, I got my fiance's whole setup, whatever the heck he got.
So okay, so he just got you coming in there and putting on the headphones and going.
Yep.
Awesome. That's awesome. So I have to tell you, if you have a pen or if you remember, there's this app called, and it's not this. It sounds like I'm about to go into a sponsorship, but it's not. There's an app called Band. Um, what is the name of that app? I just got it, and it's a collaboration app, so you can like do collaborations with people all over the world, and you get to share like WAV files. Band Lab.
Band lab.
Yes.
And the band is going into the lab. Okay.
If
How
you
I'm gonna remember.
if you get a chance, you have to download that app. Shout out to Band Lab. I'm gonna give you that drop there. And put that boom horn on there. Because you have to understand, this app is ridiculous. Like I have a microphone that I usually put onto my camera setup when I'm doing my videos or stuff outside playing drums and all that. And I started using it because I didn't have a live mic for my podcast. And I realized that I'm not using an interface or like anything fancy. I'm literally going, to use my microphone and my app for for what I would use for normal, like taking a picture or using my camera. And literally I can sing whole verses on there that convert right to WAV files and share information with people across the entire United States, the world. And then I can leave options open for them to tweak the song and do stuff to it to help it along its way.
Wow, that's really convenient.
Right. So like, how you've been doing what is that app? We Collect? We Transfer, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm so used to using Dropbox forever and a day. So We Transfer is new to me, but We Transfer and apps like Google Drive and the cloud, if you're an Apple user, like this thing has like a cloud of its own where you can just log in stuff and people can go, and it's secured, and people can go there, and like if you are working with somebody in Bangladesh, like they can actually go and get the WAV file from something you put in there. It's just specifically for music files.
Whoa.
And they
So
got
it's
the
like
nerve
a
to have
Google
effects
Doc.
too. Huh?
It's like a Google Doc, but like for music.
Yes.
That's dope.
And you could take it with you. So, you could do all types of stuff with it while you're on the road, and you don't have to be like, if you're on the road and inspiration hits you, and I don't know what you might do. You might record into your phone or something, but you could literally break it up into like 6-part harmonies and do whatever you want and save it, and then take your idea back to, or send your idea out to your band if they're not with you.
Whoa. Okay. Band lab.
And if you forget, just hit me up and I'll get that information for you again.
Cool. Thanks.
So now I'm gonna have to tag Band Lab in here, so they can give me some love and become a sponsor.
Yeah.
So the rest of the show is sponsored by Band Lab. And I'm just gonna make their own jingle for him and say, "Yo, Band Lab, get that." So, yep, Band Lab is so awesome. You have to check that out. Before we go, I wanted to know, is there any advice that you can give any young aspiring singers that are struggling to try to get to where you are, especially in times like this?
Well, here's what I have to say. As far as I say, keep practicing your craft. And I know that, at least for me, like being a singer and like the world that we live in, today, where everybody can do music and show it off. Like, don't get discouraged. Don't compare yourself to other artists. Like, just keep going. And I did a lot of praying in this process. But really, my thing is, like, just don't give up. Keep trying and just keep the love for the music alive in you.
And that's the best advice that I have heard anybody say. With that being said, y'all got to go and check out everything that Whitney McClain is doing. Please go to her YouTube. Where else can anybody find you?
On YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify. Follow me on Instagram, Whitney MC Music.
See, there you go.
Let's see, Facebook. I think. Oh yeah, I'm on CD Baby too. I think some of my songs are on Tidal. Yeah, so I'm everywhere.
What's the title of your album?
Well, the title of my current album that is out is Nothing to Lose, and I'm about to release my second EP, and it is called Letters from a Broken Heart.
Wow.
And will be out April 24th.
April 24th. Okay, cool. And can everybody get that on your Bandcamp as well?
On everywhere, Spotify, iTunes. It's going to be everywhere.
She worldwide, y'all. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
1 million views and worldwide. Wow. I mean, I am thoroughly impressed. I am even more impressed that I get to actually have a conversation with you and that you're my friend. And from the moment that I met you, I knew that I loved you and your mom. I was in love with you guys immediately.
We loved you too. I'm sure my mom wants to tell you hi because she loves you.
Absolutely. I love Mom. She was such a joy to talk to. And I love you guys. You already know that if you ever need anything from me, you got it. All you got to do is make the call. I'm there.
Thank you.
And tell your dad we got to meet. I haven't met your dad yet. We got to meet your dad. Because I could tell he don't play. I could tell he don't play. That's a good thing.
If anyone tries to reach out to me on Facebook, just know you got to go through my dad first.
Yeah, you hear that? No leaving crazy messages in the DM, guys. No crazy messages in the DM. Dad ain't no joke. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Dad is the truth. So listen, Whitney, I love you to death. I am so glad that you were able to take out some time and be on the show. I would love to have you on again in the future for sure. And I definitely would love to have your brother on. That one that does the EDM.
Oh, you mean my cousin?
Your cousin. Okay, yeah, your cousin, yes.
My cousin, yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
please. Matter of fact, if when I send you the file for this, make sure you tag him and tell him I would love to have him on the show.
Oh, I will do that. Awesome.
It's been a pleasure. Stay safe out there and keep doing your thing. We're going to be in touch. You know, we're in touch just about. I'm always hitting you. I'll leave you a message or something. And you are doing the greatest things for me ever with my drops. I appreciate it. I love you. Love your mama. Love your family. And y'all make sure y'all go on out there and get those that EP dropping. You feel what I'm saying? And stay out of the DMs.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This was fun. This is awesome.
Before I say goodbye, I would like to go ahead and play that single for you from Whitney McClain's EP, which, by the way, got over 1 million views on YouTube. Check her out. This song is called Fireplace, right here exclusively on YouTube and the David Jonathan Perception. And wow, what a song. That was the beautifully critically acclaimed million view on YouTube single by Whitney McClain titled Fireplace. Be sure to go to Apple Music and subscribe and buy and do everything that you need to do. Drop something in that tip jar for her, whatever you need to do. She's an up and coming artist. She's put that time in. She's put that work in. And I think she is deserving of such. Which brings me to my 2 cents. Your dreams are not non-achievable. What does matter is how much time are you willing to put into that? Are you willing to put as much money, as much resources, or do you really need to have those new Air Jordans? Do you need those retros? Do you really need those retros? You don't need those retros. What you need to do is take that $150 or $200 or the $500 that you were about to buy them Yeezys with your COVID-19 check, and invest in yourself. Invest in what you want to do. Think about it. All the money that you've been wasting on frivolous things that have nothing that will give you a return could be something that you're using to get to your next goal. But you won't know unless you put that time in, unless you put that work in. Don't complain about other people getting ahead of you and you feel like you got skipped or passed over because you didn't put that work in. It all comes back to you. And now with all this time that we have off, it is time to refocus your energy. It's time to refocus whatever money that you do have. And it is time to get your mind together. Get it together and invest in yourself. As I've said before, I love you all. That's what this podcast is here for. It's to highlight new artists. And it's designed to at least give you some encouragement so you will go on and achieve your dreams. Once again, this is David Jonathan with the David Jonathan Perception. I love you. God bless. Thanks for listening, guys. Before I go, please remember to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Please, appreciate you. I do giveaways and things of that nature. Also, please follow me on Instagram at David Jonathan Drums. If you are interested in submitting some music to be featured, please go ahead and email that to teaspoon407@gmail.com. Once again, that's teaspoon407@gmail.com. If you are also interested in being a paid sponsor, please submit to that email address as well. Peace.